Okay, so your field of view is 3 millimeters at 10x. What is the size of a cell? This is your cell at 100x. Okay, what's the first thing you have to do? Low power over high power. We're missing something on that. What's that equation? That three-piece equation. 3 millimeters. Low power stuff, right? Divided by high power stuff. Remember, there's 2 low power stuffs. Okay. So what is this answer?
30 over 100.
I hear one person like whispering it. So I was just hoping for more people to say it. 0.3 what? Millimeters. Good. That's our first thing. That means that this whole distance here is 0.3 millimeters. But we don't want the whole distance. We want how much of that distance? That is step 2. Yes. How many cells can fit? This is where you draw. I tried to set it up to make it 3. Okay. So 3 cells fit. So 0.3 millimeters times 1/3. You can also do divided by 3. But what are we not going to forget to write? Your equation and your units. So even in your work, like I noticed you guys would be like, you would just put 0.3 divided by 3. At the end, you'd put your units, which is good, but you should be showing your units the whole way through. Okay. So 0.3 divided by 3 is 0.1 millimeters. That might be the answer, and then you would highlight that. Or maybe that's not the answer. Maybe I asked for the answer in micrometers. What would that be? 100. We move to the right 3 times. Remember, only highlight what I'm asking. If I ask for micrometers and you highlight both, IB would grade you off for that. It would be like, I did not ask for millimeters, don't give me millimeters. If it's in your work, that makes sense. But just don't highlight it as your answer. Yes. We are highlighting. I'm going to do now. No. You guys didn't tell me. Good. You're due now to take a calculator, divider, ruler, and highlighters are in the box. But maybe we should wait till we're done with this question. This is number 4. Okay. What is the mag of the drawing? What's our equation? We're always writing our equation. Well, mag equals SOD over SOS. What is our easiest thing to find?
Size of the drawing.
Size of the drawing. Okay. So that's our first step. Okay, we're going to do our size of drawing. Let's put this here and say it's, well, it's actually about 200 millimeters. So let's say 200 millimeters for that. We measured our distance, 200 millimeters. All right, that's the easy step. Now we need to find our size of specimen. This is the part that's hard. So to find our size of specimen, what are we going to do first? Measure the scale bar. I'm going to measure my scale bar. It's 90. Okay, so this is 90 millimeters. Okay, what do I do next? No, I don't. You get 200 divided by 90.
No, yeah, 200 divided by 90.
This is, I think, the difficult, one of the difficult parts, okay, is we need to do 200 millimeters divided by 90 millimeters because we want to know how many scale bars fit. Can somebody do that math? So let's just do 2.2 equals 2.2. Do I have units on that number?
No.
No. Okay, so that tells me that about 2.2 will fit. 2.2 scale bars will fit here. Okay? So what do I have to do now?
Multiply by 5.
Multiply by 5. Why am I multiplying by 5? Because this.
Because that's how you do it.
Because that's what my scale bar represents. Okay. This drawing is not real life drawing, it's bigger, right? So we're saying that 90 millimeters represents 5 micrometers. Okay, so we're going to do 90 millimeters. No,
No,
2.2. Well, sorry, my bad. 2.2, because that's how many sticks times what it's representing, 5 micrometers. Okay, equals 10.1. Really? Oh, because half. 11 what? Okay. So remember, actually I should have all that in green. I was looking for my size of specimen. This is my size of specimen, right? So I want to plug that in, but does that make sense to do right now?
No, you don't convert it.
Okay. So 11 micrometers equals
0.11.
0.01, because you move it left 3 times.
Oh, so we get
Add a 0. Oh, sorry. 1. That's my size of specimen. I haven't gone over the rules of rounding with you enough yet. So you could do 0.1 or 0.11 as long as you're on the right now. So what's 200 divided by 0.011? It is 18181. 18181? Yeah, 0.81. That's awesome. I'm glad I made those numbers. What's my unit? Not really a unit, but a symbol. X. Okay. I'm gonna let you stare at this for 1 more minute. I'm erasing it before the test. Last chance for progress reports.
Oh,
It's due Friday, but if you guys have Zim, awesome. You guys need dividers if you don't have dividers yet.
No. Yes, I do remember.
I like 99. It's actually a great thing. Yeah, when I go over this. I'll fix mine. Any other questions? So you guys have a mother? Rulers are in the back. The big number. You got the cheater ruler. Oh, I guess we should call it a cheater, but just know you might not have that on your ID.
wait, for the spaces, right? Don't put millimeter, right?
Number 1? You should be telling me.
No.
Phones are so far away from you. So you're going from millimeters to millimeters. So remember, micro is smaller than it. Right? So if I was going from seconds to hours, which number would be bigger? Seconds would be bigger, right? So you're going from a smaller unit to a so this is a smaller unit to a bigger unit. Just remember because bigger or small. Small, good. Because if you're going from seconds, it'd be big. To small, right? So you know you're going to a smaller number. So you got to move to the left. And it's always 3. Either so micrometers to millimeters is 3 left. millimeters. Ag meters. Always, are you going to look? All right. All right, I'm checking phones. Phones are like super far away. When you're done, I do want you to get out your unit 4 notes. I'll give you directions on what I want you to do once I get the test out. I will put a color copy up in a second. Typically, will help you with number 2 to see the color. This one we will take the better score. And if both scores are terrible, you'll have to come to enrichment. Remember, if you like the skill of doing the hard first, then you may do that. If you want to go in order, remember to read. If you're not. We don't have all periods for this time. I'm going to explain pictures. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording because we're just taking a test right now. All right, I'm resuming my recording so we can kind of go over. Are those graded? Yeah. Then you keep it. Okay. All right. I do want to just kind of go over. So I know many of you should have already done these notes. Okay. Shh. If you have not already done these notes, you're behind. Okay, but I want everybody to stop writing at this point. Because sometimes what we have to do is you have to do your own notes and you have to learn from your own notes, right? That's just the nature of IB. We have this much and this much time. But I do just want to make sure we're on track. So there's 2 types of cells that you need to be familiar with and what they do and how to recognize their structures. The first one is the exocrine gland cell of the pancreas. You need to know the function. Our main idea here that we're looking at is that structure determines function. When something has a specific structure, it leads to it having a specific function. Our Chromebooks are now close-ish. Okay, so you're up here. Okay. So the exocrine gland, the main function, you want to know what it does. You might get a question. What is the function? State the function of an exocrine gland. You'd want to say it secretes things out of the cell. Okay. And a good way to remember that is EX for what? Excrete or exit, extract, right? So things leaving the cell, exiting the cell. But I like extract, I like excrete. All of those are really good. So we did do the retake. So if you want to retake, you'll have to come in lunch today or enrichment. Okay. Here's where you can find those. So think about all these places. Your sweat glands, for example, those are glands where you are excreting something, right? Salivary glands, you're excreting things. So you will find these exocrine glands anywhere that you will find things being excreted. Okay. Liver and pancreas, you find them often there. Here is, when we get to unit 2, we'll actually study the structure more. But right now, you want to know what all of the organelles do, okay? And then you want to be able to recognize, which we're going to go over in class, what these different organelles are. Okay? So looking at this, we can identify one main organelle already. What? The nucleus. This big guy in the middle here. Okay. We can probably also identify cell membrane on the outside. There's a mitochondria right here. These little labels kind of give you hints too, by the way. Yep, mitochondria. And what's going to be really big in these excretory cells are these dark circles up there. Those are the vesicles. So we're going to look at your endomembrane system. Does that word phrase sound familiar? Endomembrane system. Your endomembrane system is your rough ER, which is like here, your Golgi, which is here, and vesicles. Your endomembrane system functions to get things out of the cell or into the cell. So these are, which you guys did on your matching, these are secretory vesicles, meaning they secrete stuff. So the cell makes stuff, and these are the cells that bring it to the edge and secrete it out the other side. So if I show you a picture where you see a lot of dark circles towards one end, you're going to say that's an excretory cell, an exocrine gland cell. Okay. So I will not really have time to go over all of these structures and functions. Mainly this was freshman knowledge, so you're just reviewing it. But again, you guys did this in that matching. You guys ever want to practice? I have the matching. You guys can come in, do it again for practice before a test. So make sure you know the functions. Oh, peroxisome wasn't in your notes. I should have put it in your notes. To draw it is easy. To identify it is just a circle, but you shouldn't know what it does. So if you didn't add that to your notes, just put it at the bottom somewhere, the structure and the function. What's also good about these images as you're going through, I should have mentioned, is it for each one, it shows you what it would look like. Okay, so the nucleus, it shows you. It'll be a big structure in the middle. It has its own membrane and usually has a darker section inside of it, the nucleolus. Your rough ER, it's a bunch of lines, right? Kind of looks like a maze-ish kind of a thing. Yeah, or like corn, definitely. And notice it has the dots. That's how you're going to identify your rough ER in a picture, in a micrograph. Your smooth ER looks similar, but with no dots. Vesicles can be difficult to identify, but like I said, they're usually dark circles. Okay, very, very dark. The darkest circles in your picture. Your Golgi, a lot of people say it looks kind of like a beehive. It has this kind of a shape where it stacks, kind of like stacks of curved pancakes, maybe. Or Wi-Fi symbol, yep. Secretory vesicles, this is the main one. If you see a lot of these, it's an exocrine gland cell, okay? All right, tonight's homework, you're basically gonna do the same thing. Give me just one more minute, you guys. But the packing up is gonna distract you. You're basically gonna be doing the same thing, but with a different type of cell. This cell is a plant cell. So I know a lot of the organelles, you're like, I already wrote this. The nucleus is the same thing. Yes, it's the same thing, but write it again because it will help you study, okay? But some of them are different. Like this will have a cell wall where your exocrine gland cell did not. This is a mesophyll cell in a leaf. This is where we find photosynthesis happening. And then you're just gonna go through and do the same idea. Go through the organelles and write down all the stuff, okay? And you also micrograph drawings. It's going to give you a picture and you're going to draw this. So you have a little space in your notes. So you're going to draw what you're seeing here, just like we did with the prokaryote. Draw it, try to label it if you can. Check your answer. Your drawing should look like this. Okay. So I need you guys to do the drawings on your own because you have the picture and you have the answer. Okay. So I can't give you guys time to just draw and practice, okay? Sorry, I went a minute over. Have a wonderful, great day. Either at lunch or after school or tomorrow. I'm gonna really work on